Alright, let's do this. This is going to be my first time trying this kind of video. I'm going to be answering a question that a wonderful person from Tumblr has sent me in my inbox. Insert clever name Smelly said, "As a creator and artist, I'm sure you've run across a particular phenomenon called writer's block. I've been having a lot of issues lately where either I can't find the inspiration to write or just plain can't focus. Writing, singing, and pretty much any form of artistic expression have been major staples in my life for quite some time, and I think I'd be able to accomplish so much more if I had the drive to use my talent. Is there any advice you can give me?" No. You're done. You're finished. There is a little bit. The first thing I'll point out is that there are different kinds of writer's block, and I'm going to get into those a little bit as we pick through your email for all the juicy bits. As a creator and artist, I'm sure you've blah blah blah, I've been having a lot of issues lately where either I can't find the inspiration to write or just plain can't focus. Those are two very distinct things, and I'm glad that you pointed both of them out. This is older, cooler Matthew, traveling back in time to fix this mess of a video. So I noticed another thing. You said I've been having a lot of issues lately. Lately is a huge word. So you didn't always have these issues? Is that true? Maybe during childhood you felt more inspired? You could focus more? It's a common issue for children once they realize they aren't free to express themselves creatively just for joy and have to do it for income instead, or just drop it altogether in favor of, getting a real job. It's worth it to try going back, rereading the old stuff you wrote or sang. Listen to the old stuff you sang. Trying to figure out what it is you found enjoyable about creating that way. What inspired you to write that way or sing that way? Was it a certain movie or show you liked watching at the time, or was it one of your parents doing something nice for you? Or was it a friend, or was it a pet you had, or was it a place you lived? Was it, like I said, feeling free of responsibilities? So obviously you can't go back, but you can recall, and you can try to bring back objects from those times, relive some of those experiences, do things that make you happy like that again, put yourself in situations that make you happy like that again. But then on the topic of inspiration, I can give one simple bit of advice on inspiration, and it's to pray. Frankly, if you just feel disconnected from your artistic self and just aren't having that abundant stream of ideas, consider this. You have a subconscious mind, and it's giving you everything. Prayer is not just a way of sending thoughts up to God on the outside. It's a way of actually stimulating your subconscious. Now, I'm not going to make any effort to back this all up scientifically, but I know from experience that when I just, inner self, super cool Matthew from the future, who's just the most famous and awesome writer ever, please give me a kernel of your majesty and just let me create something great today. When I do that, sometimes he plays shitty tricks on me and ruins my evening, but other times he gives me what I ask for. And it's worth building that relationship with your future self, or your muse, or your daemon, or your guardian angel, or whatever the heck it is you believe in. It's worth building that personal connection with that creative side of yourself. That's the best advice I can give for generating inspiration. And now a word from my younger, less cool self regarding focus. Are you trying to focus a lot and failing? Or do you find yourself, well, I guess I should reiterate that. Do you find yourself staring at the screen and really immersed in the effort to write? Focus, 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 and failing to produce? Or are you very easily distracted and your focus is not trained that way? You don't even get to the point where you can make an agonizing effort. You just are all around, oh, I wish I could focus, but oh, Captain Sparkles made a wonderful post on Twitter and I'm all lol about it. And so which of those two is your problem? That's a good thing to be able to know about yourself. A solution for focusing too hard all the time is sure you can. Whoa. Okay. This is older, wiser Matthew coming back from the future again to redeem this clusterfuck of a video. I'm literally like 3 hours in the future. But anyway, the way to pull back from burnout via overfocus is to just unfocus, and it takes a lot of self-love to do that. I feel ya if you're just obsessed with working and you can't pull out of it. But when you do this so much, your back hurts, and your neck hurts, and your eyes hurt, and your fingers hurt, and you just have to go take a walk, or do some exercises, or lie out in the grass, or go hug your mom, or go hug your cat, or go hang out with your friends, play some games while drinking Arnie Palmer's at Perkins. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Diversify your creative practice. For instance, I used to write a lot and revise a lot. Just rearranging, and it took hours. But recently I've taken up the practice of using a dictation program, Dragon Dictate, or just a simple voice recorder like Quick Voice on my iPod Touch. Really good stuff. I started writing a novel last week, July 4th, and I'm 60 pages into it now, like almost 30,000 words. Divvy up how you write. Don't all do it the same way all the time. I mean, maybe if you're really method, you can do that. But if you're struggling with writer's block, I definitely recommend experimenting around. It's very fun. With your writing, that is. I don't mean with people, unless that's how you do things. And if your problem is not overfocus, but in fact getting distracted by everything all the time, well, what are the things you're being distracted by? One good example is social media, Facebook. I used to have a huge problem with Facebook. I think the solution that worked for me was to cut it down to size. Sometimes you have to eliminate entirely, but a really good solution is cutting down to size. Odds are it's something you like and has value, so put it in its place, compartmentalize, make places for everything, because everything deserves a little place maybe if it behaves. So you talk about practicing multiple disciplines in the form of writing and music. I think that's really cool. I practice writing and music as well as a few other things, and in my experience, it really helps to be able to alternate between the different forms. When the floodgates for writing are shut, I just take the path of the least resistance and go do music. It's a matter of listening to your own moods, listening to your impulses, right? Know what your body wants. It doesn't always work, I understand, because maybe you're just really in a groove, you really want to do one thing and you're obsessed, and sometimes you just gotta batter through the wall till you get there, and that's a thing to do. There are soft places and there are hard places, and there's no, proven path to getting through your journey. I guess I will ask you how much you're creating right now and whether you like it. The different kinds of writer's block, in my experience, are sort of generally divided into two categories, and they're the kind where you don't create very much, and the kind where you create poorly. And I consider both of those to be a blockage. Even though, in the latter, you can write a novel in a month, And that seems like flow, right? That seems like, wow, I'm doing something. I'm not blocked. I'm just going, going, going. But if your soul isn't in it, you're just running at the mouth. And that is a form of blockage in the sense that your deeper self is being blocked and not being expressed, and you're just sending out from the surface. You're just sending out, the inspirations that you're immediately receiving and pushing them right back out, like a very shallow tide. Ideally, what you want is a deep undertow. I love that word. You want it coming up from the deep trench of your creative ocean. And you want it coming strong and consistent. That's like the ideal state, right? It's rare to get. Yeah, it's important to understand that creativity is very connected to personal happiness and personal suffering. It's not just a mechanical act. It's not just doing your job. Your moods will affect what you do. And they can affect in what you do in a lot of different ways. There's no direct correlation between whether you're sad or happy and the quality of your work. Some of the most tormented people make some of the most brilliant work, and some of the happiest make the most vapid. Vapid means shallow. And sometimes suffering stunts your creativity, makes it small and dark and bitter. People don't want it. They spit it out of their mouths. And sometimes happiness makes it bloom. Sometimes joy is deep and overflowing and wonderful. And sometimes the suffering and the joy combine into this miraculous God tree. And then you have, in my opinion, the greatest works in literature, which might not be the greatest in others' eyes, but Winnie the Pooh rocks. So you have a unique creative dynamic going on in yourself, and it's really complicated, and it's your job to figure out what it is. It's your job to learn about that, how your emotions are affecting your work. I hope you're discovering new things each day about your creativity. One thing I cannot help but recommend is trying something each day or every other day. Keep going, get a rhythm, and be willing to do things that suck. Because you have a lot of concepts, you have a lot of dreams, you have a lot of wonderful stuff to unpack, and it's not going to come right away, and that's fine. The journey can be considered fun. It's hard to filter out all the voices that say, ah ha ha, you keep falling down, you suck, your journey is useless, you'll never get there, ha ha ha. But those people probably fell down at some point and never got back up and just built a little mud hut there. So don't listen to them. I should end there because it sounded cool and decisive and badass and stuff. Yeah. So this is cooler, older, wiser, more badass Matthew doing the outro. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Younger me, you did pretty good. And thank you very much for that thoughtful question, sir. I forgot your name already. So guys, ask more questions. I like doing videos like these. They help me when I don't have ideas of my own. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. See ya.